Welcome back. My name is Jillian Bell. This is our Crow progression series. We're on week 3 or video 3. Now, just a quick reminder that the first one was very beginner, the second one was a little bit more intermediate, and this one's gonna feel a little bit more advanced in comparison, so only approach this video when you feel ready to do so. Let me know if you have any questions after you watch. So we'll start by taking Crow. In the first 2 videos, we worked up to a regular crow. I'm gonna show you what it looks like if you feel like you can't get your bum up high enough to put the block under your feet instead. So let's say you're no longer afraid of falling on your face, which is good. You can still put a pillow out in front. You can step onto the block, making sure your toes and your toe mounds are down. Again, this is just gonna give you a little bit more height. Knees can come up a little higher into your armpits, shifting your weight forward and floating your feet. Right here. Good, again, so that's our crow. Now we're gonna work into our variations. So we'll start with a side crow. Now before we do that, we really wanna make sure we're set up with our twists. So it would be very beneficial for you to warm up your body with a lot of twists before you begin. I'm just gonna start by twisting to either side in this toe squat. All right, so side crow. I'm gonna face a little bit more on a 45 degree. Hands are going to plant. There's 2 ways you can approach this. I'll show you both. The first one, you wanna keep your knees together and the bum will be floating in space. So I'm gonna walk my feet up towards this side of my pinky, planting through my hands. Both knees are going to stack on this elbow. So this is why chaturanga is so important. Then when you're ready, you float your feet here. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, your bum's not floating in space, it's resting on your other tricep. Both arms are down, hinging forward, and then when you're ready, floating your feet here. Let me know which one feels easier. I prefer the first variation. All right, the second variation that we're going to take is a forearm crow. This one's really fun because you kind of get really tiny. So we bring our forearms down onto the earth, tuck your toes, lift your knees, walk your feet up as close as you can. And then when you're ready, knees go into armpits. It's almost gonna feel like your nose is touching the ground. I certainly do because I have really short arms. My nose is probably this close to touching. That one's a really fun variation. Again, try to think about getting really, really small when you try. Then we'll move into fallen angel. So this one is just like side crow, but you're gonna rest your head down, which sort of sounds like a break. We'll see if that's how it feels today. I'm gonna step off the mat so that my face can rest on the earth or on the mat instead of the ground. Again, walking my feet up, floating here, dropping the head down, and then kicking the top leg up. So notice how the knees are stacked, and then I lift, pointing the toes. The last part of this video is for those of you that are already very comfortable with a tripod headstand. So only taking these next 2 poses if you already have a very safe headstand practice. Now, if you're working on the transition from crow to headstand, my suggestion is you start with that feet wider variation crow, because again, your head is a lot closer to the ground. So using your knees wide into your arms, you'll start to shift the weight forward and back. Then, because where you look is super important, I need you to look down, tuck your chin, and then come back up. All right, so you're just getting comfortable, shifting your weight forward, tucking your chin, dropping the top of the head down. When that feels good, if you want, you can drop down, hold it here. Because your knees are wide, this means we're further away from midline, and I actually find it very hard to kick up from there. So we'll take that from regular crow instead. So once that feels safe and you want to progress, you'll come into the feet together variation. The ground's going to feel a lot further away. Don't be afraid. Tuck your chin, head comes down, and then float your feet. All right, so there is your crow to headstand. Try to come out the same way you came in. Whee! And now we're gonna try crow to chaturanga, and then we're gonna go throw them all together. So, crow to chaturanga, make sure you're closer to the front of your mat. What's really important is you get your feet up as close to your bum as possible. That way, the higher they are, the more of a chance they have at getting to the back of your mat. So when you're ready, feet float up, up, up. Kick back, chaturanga. Push up. So if you can, you're trying to point your feet straight up to the ceiling. I may have not gotten there, but you can try. Now we're gonna go from crow to headstand to pike to chaturanga, which I actually find pike to chaturanga a little bit easier than crow to chaturanga. So again, closer to the top of the mat so that your feet have somewhere to land. Hands down, finding your crow pose, then your headstand. Okay, so coming up, our pike is headstand with our legs at 90 degrees. Now, if you really want to work your core, this is a place you can stay. And when you're ready, you're gonna press off of your hands, lift your head, and kick your feet back. And that's it. Down dog. I hope you had fun playing. Let me know if you liked this crow progression series. Comment what was your favorite variation in this video. Follow me on Instagram, tag me in your attempt, and let me know what you'd like to see next.